Emma Walsh stared at the menu in growing panic, her heart pounding so hard she was certain the man across from her could hear it. The prices swam before her eyes: $28 for salmon, $32 for steak, even the pasta dishes were $22. She'd known this restaurant was nice when her friend had set up the blind date, but she hadn't realized it was this nice. She did quick mental math. She had exactly $43 in her checking account until Friday's paycheck. Rent was paid, thank God, but she'd had to choose between groceries and her electric bill this month, and she'd chosen electricity. She'd been planning to live on ramen and peanut butter sandwiches until payday. There was no way she could afford dinner here. Maybe an appetizer and water. Maybe. "Have you decided what you'd like?" The server appeared beside their table with an expectant smile. Emma's throat closed up. She looked at the man across from her, a David Chen, 36, kind eyes, warm smile. Exactly as her friend Lisa had described him. He'd seemed so genuine when they'd met 20 minutes ago, so easy to talk to. And now she was about to humiliate herself completely. "I'll have the salmon," David said easily. "And could we get an order of the calamari to start?" The server turned to Emma. "And for you, miss?" Emma opened her mouth, closed it, felt her face burning with shame. She couldn't do this. Couldn't pretend. Couldn't sit through an entire meal knowing she couldn't pay her half, couldn't afford even the cheapest thing on this menu. She started, her voice barely above a whisper. She looked down at her lap, unable to meet David's eyes. "I'm sorry. I can't afford this date." The words hung in the air. Emma wanted to disappear, to sink through the floor, to be anywhere but here. This was worse than not having money. This was admitting it out loud, to a stranger, in a fancy restaurant where everyone around them probably spent more on one meal than she earned in a week. "Could you give us just a moment?" David said to the server, his voice calm and kind. "We're still deciding." The server nodded and retreated. Emma still couldn't look up. "Emma," David said softly. "Hey. It's okay. Look at me." She forced herself to meet his eyes, expecting to see pity or judgment or disappointment. Instead, she saw only understanding. "Thank you for being honest," David said. "That took courage." "Can I ask you something? Did Lisa tell you I was taking you to Antonio's?" "She just said you'd pick the place." "I thought." Emma's voice cracked. "I thought maybe it would be somewhere casual, coffee or something. I didn't know it would be somewhere like this." "I'm so sorry. I should have asked. I should have suggested somewhere else. I just didn't want to seem difficult or Emma, stop. You have nothing to apologize for." David leaned forward, his expression serious but gentle. "I picked this place because I like it, and because I assumed wrongly, clearly, that Lisa had mentioned where we'd be going. This is my mistake, not yours." "I should go," Emma said, already starting to gather her purse. "You can stay. Have your dinner." "I'm sorry for wasting your time." "Please don't leave." David's hand moved toward hers on the table but didn't quite touch it, giving her space. "What if we go somewhere else? Somewhere more comfortable? There's a great pizza place 3 blocks from here. Best slices in the city, and you can get a huge piece and a soda for like $6. Emma blinked, surprised. "You want to leave? But you already ordered." "I can cancel the order. It's not a problem." David was already flagging down the server. "Hey, I'm really sorry, but we're actually going to head out." "My apologies." The server looked confused but nodded. "Of course, sir. No charge since the food hasn't come out yet." David stood and offered his hand to Emma. "Come on, let's go get some actual food and have a real conversation instead of worrying about menu prices." Emma took his hand, still stunned. He was smiling at her, not a pitying smile, but a genuinely warm one, like this was perfectly normal, like she hadn't just completely embarrassed herself. They walked out of Antonio's into the cool evening air. Emma felt like she could breathe again. "I really am sorry," she said as they walked toward the pizza place. "I should have been upfront from the beginning about my financial situation." "Why?" David asked. "Do you usually lead with your bank balance when meeting new people?" "No. Buter. But nothing. You don't owe anyone an explanation about your finances. I should have asked what kind of place you'd be comfortable with. That's on me. He glanced at her. Can I ask what made you agree to this blind date if money's tight? You could have suggested we reschedule or do something free. Emma was quiet for a moment. Lisa's been trying to set me up for months. She means well, but she doesn't really understand my situation. She thinks I'm being too picky or too cautious. I said yes because I thought. She trailed off, embarrassed. Thought what? I thought maybe if I pretended to be normal, to have my life together, I could just be that person for a few hours. Not the struggling single woman with the dead-end job and the empty bank account. Just Emma, on a date. Like regular people. David stopped walking and turned to face her. Emma, you are regular people. Being broke doesn't make you less than anyone else. Trust me, I know. You know? Oh yeah. David laughed, but there was something sad in it. I've been exactly where you are. Worse, actually. 6 years ago, I was a single dad with a 3-year-old daughter, working 2 jobs. Living in a studio apartment that probably violated several health codes. I'd look at menus and calculate not just what I could afford, but what I could afford while still being able to feed my kid for the rest of the week. Emma studied him. He wore nice clothes, drove a decent car. She'd seen it when he picked her up. What changed? Lots of things. Hard work, some lucky breaks. A promotion I barely believed I deserved. But mostly just time. Things got better slowly, and then all at once, they reached the pizza place here, a casual spot with red vinyl booths and the smell of oregano and melting cheese. This okay? This is perfect, Emma said, and meant it. They ordered at the counter 2 huge slices and sodas and found a booth by the window. The total was $13.50. Emma pulled out her carefully hoarded cash and paid for her half before David could protest. You didn't have to do that, he said. I know, but I wanted to. I can afford pizza. It's just Antonio's that's out of my league. Emma bit into her slice and closed her eyes. Oh my God. This is amazing. I haven't had actual pizza in months. Months? What have you been eating? Ramen mostly. Some sandwiches. Whatever's on sale at the grocery store. Emma shrugged. It